Hey, welcome to another video of reduction of order method. This is the third example I'm going to do. I'm also going to do a fourth example. I just worked through this one that's at the beginning, at the top of my screen here. And it took me a little while to get through it. I used the wrong method to begin with. It took me probably about 30 minutes. So I'm going to just rework it in this video with the correct solution. It's going to be a lot shorter. And then I'm going to do a second example, which I'm going to just write down here already. That way I have it ready to go. It's y double prime plus 9y equals 0. And the y1 that I am given is sine of 3x. Judging by this problem, it's probably going to be the same as the one I'm going to do right now. So we're going to go ahead and observe that the term in front of y prime is 0. That's going to be important in our continuation of the problem solving. So we're going to set y2 of x equal to y1 of x times the integral of e to the minus p of x dx over y sub 1 of x squared dx. Y sub 1 of x is a cosine of 4x, and then p of x is 0. So it's going to be cosine of 4x times the integral of cosine squared 4x times e to the minus 0 dx, which is going to be cosine, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and write it down here. Cosine, I apologize, of 4x is equal to the integral of e to the minus c secant squared of 4x dx, which equals cosine of 4x times the integral of c times secant squared of 4x dx. Now I'm going to evaluate this using u sub. U equals 4x du divided by 4 equals dx. The integral of secant squared x is tangent of x. So we're going to have cosine 4x times constant of integration over 4 times tangent of 4x equals, tangent is sine over cosine, so this cosine is going to cancel with the cosine under the tangent, and then it's c over 4 times sine of 4x. This is one constant right here, so we'll just call that c, which means y2 of x is equal to sine of 4x. I want to emphasize here, I'm not a math teacher. I'm a student who's still in this class, and I'm doing these recordings that way I can talk myself through the problems. It helps me to process my thoughts as I'm solving them. I'm not necessarily doing these as a tutorial. I'm not necessarily doing these as a teaching tool, but if somebody finds that they're helpful, I am glad that they can find these helpful. But I'm not posting these as a teaching source. So the second example that I'm going to do is y double prime plus 9y equals 0, where y1 equals sine of 3x. So again, we're going to use the same formula. y2 of x equals y1, which is sine 3x, times the integral of sine squared 4x over e to the negative 0 dx. So sine of 4x times the integral of e to the minus c, which is again just c, times this time is cosecant squared of 4x dx. I'm going to let u equal 4x, du divided by 4 equals dx, and I actually don't know what the antiderivative of cosecant squared is. I think it's in my notes somewhere, but let's go ahead and work it out. So 1 over sine squared x dx. How would I solve this? Can't use u sub. Can't use integration by. I can't use integration by parts. Could probably use trig sub, but I honestly forgot how to do trig sub. How would I go about solving this? Well, the derivative I'm trying to think of like derivatives. I think it's in my notes. I'm just going to look it up. After all, I'm not going to be quizzed on this. And whenever I get to my career, I'm probably going to be able to look it up as well. So they're not going to test me on how to find the integral of cosecant squared. Those are going to be in the front. Maybe it's cotangent, derivative cotangent or something. Oh, it's negative. Derivative of cotangent is negative cosecant squared. So maybe I could just do a negative cotangent. Okay, so that's going to be sine of 4x times c over 4 times negative cotangent, which is cosine over sine. Which means this sine's going to cancel out, that sine's going to cancel out. This is going to just be c. I wonder if the negative from the cosine can go there also. It probably can. If that negative goes over there as well. Because that's being multiplied. Multiplication is commutative. So it's just c times cosine of 4x. I'm guessing that's the final answer. Let's look it up on Chegg. No way. It was sine of 3x. When did I start putting... Oh my god. Don't know why I do this. Sine of 3x. Yeah, it is. It's cosine of 3x. Okay, so that's the final answer.